What's going on YouTube? It's Chris from Out West with Chris, and I'm here to do another BattlBox unboxing, and I've already opened the box. This is my second take at filming this video. Got a few work phone calls I had to take care of. I was texting a buddy about the box, and he got me thinking. I got a phone call from another buddy about the box while I'm, filming, and we talked about it. And there, the one buddy that I talked to, he's, I would kind of consider him somewhat of a subject matter expert on NBC, which stands for Nuclear, Biological, and Chemical. Without further ado, here's Mission 30 from BattlBox. One thing I do need to mention before I get too far into this is I did not pay for this box. This box is comped. I didn't pay for it. If that has influenced me at all, you guys can make up your own minds. The other thing I do need to mention is I'm not an expert in this field at all. Not even close, not at all. So there are some things like this that I really don't know a whole lot about. So I'm relying on phone conversation I just had with my buddy and some basic knowledge. So the sit rep is NBC box. Well, the sit rep is building an NBC bag. So that's your sit rep, building a nuclear, biological, chemical bag, which this is something that I've been thinking about quite a bit lately. I live on the West Coast. You got little Kim over in Korea who keeps launching ICBMs and that type of stuff, and it's something I think about. What would happen if there was a nuclear warhead launched at the West Coast? I also kind of think about, okay, what happens if there's like a Fukushima reactor type meltdown situation? All of those types of things. And, some of this stuff kind of applies to that. So, with that in mind, basic, it is a $25 cost. The first item in the basic box is right here. And these are IOSAT tablets. And basically what these tablets do is, if there is an event where there's radiation that could be around you, say, a reactor melts down and you're not standing right next to it, and so you don't totally get nuked basically, as in tons of radiation poisoning, but you're downwind from it, something that you could possibly survive. You start taking these, and these will protect your thyroid gland. You have to take it continuously on a daily basis. I believe there are instructions. So you take these tablets, they protect your thyroid gland, and that will help allow you time to get out of the path of the radiation. This is a stated value of $7. Next up are these little wipes, and these are Radiac Wash Towelettes, and basically this is for body decontamination. If you have radioactive fallout, I guess, on you, if you weren't totally nuked by the nuke, and you have some radiation on you, you could supposedly towelette it off. I really don't know about this item. This is a $2.85 item. This is a kind of a cool item that I'm interested in taking a look at. This is the Nuclear War Survival Skills book. I'm a big fan when BattlBox sends books out in their boxes. I like them, I read them. I guess that makes me a nerd. But there are diagrams and pictures in here. And there's stuff that I think that you could do or utilize, some information I think you could utilize for non-NBC events. There's a lot of kind of interesting shelter ideas in here. That's pretty cool. Value on that is 14 bucks. It's a book. That's about how much books cost, 14 bucks. The next item is one of these rad triage They're like a dose card. They give you a visual kind of indication of whether or not you have too much radiation. My buddy, who I talked to, basically said, yeah, those are going to tell you when you're basically have had too much. So it's going to kind of tell you, kind of after the fact, yeah, you're fucked. So it's all right, I guess. I don't know. The next up are these bags. And the theory on the SITREP card is you put contaminated clothing in the bags, and then you can bury them away from your food or water sources or where you're gonna shelter. I think the bags are, I don't know, I'll probably line my trash bags with those bags. Like it really, luckily they put a value of free on there. I think it's kind of gimmicky, personally. If your clothes are irradiated or contaminated with radiation, or a bacterial agent or some sort of chemical agent, you're probably going to be pretty freaking uncomfortable, is my guess. It's probably going to be too late. The advanced box comes with this, and originally I was pretty amped up about this. I don't know much about gas masks. This is a Polish MC1 gas mask, and it comes in a pretty cool little carrying case. Actually, I kind of like this. It has little pockets right here. Pretty cool. This, this is a $15 value, and while it looks cool, my understanding, this is my understanding only, is that these canisters are actually not really super safe to use. That's just my understanding. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I am kind of in the market for a few. My freaking phone keeps going nuts. I'm in the market for a few of these. One for me, one for my kid, but one for each of my kids. Some sort of gas mask. Not really to filter radiation, but for the B or the C in one of these situations. And then also for like heavily polluted smoke. So there's a lot of oil refineries and oil storage tanks near where I live. Every now and then, it's fairly rare, but once in a while one of those facilities will catch on fire. And that smoke is not good to breathe. So if there was a large fire at one of those facilities and the wind was blowing in the wrong direction, which would be towards me, having some sort of gas mask or something like that could be beneficial. Other situations where they could be beneficial are some tactical applications. Now, like I said before, I'm not an expert, but my understanding, this is almost a novelty item. I guess in a worst case scenario, you could utilize this possibly to get you to the next step, to get you one step further. I suppose. I'm not totally sold on this. I like the bag. I think it's a novel idea. But as far as, kitting it and relying on it in a shit hit the fan scenario, I don't really know. Something I personally need to do some more research on, and I encourage you guys to as well. So, but really kind of cool, handy carry bag. The next item is a Seychelles radiological water filter straw, and I kind of think that this is pretty cool. So most of your water filters don't filter heavy metals like lead or mercury. They don't, filter chemicals like pesticides, agricultural byproducts, industrial chemicals, that type of stuff. They don't filter out like radioactive materials either. They're going to focus on your biological stuff. So your bacterias, giardia, parasites, stuff like that. This does not deal with the parasite side of things, but focuses on the heavy metals and the things we talked about before. So the two in tandem could actually be kind of a good thing. The waters around me in the Delta, I've got a lot of water all around me in the California Delta. A lot of that water is heavily polluted with industrial and agricultural chemicals, as well as heavy metals like mercury. There is so much mercury out in that water. I don't eat the fish very often that I catch out there because there's so much mercury in the fish. So something like this could help. From the standpoint of a nuclear event, if you were needing to drink water that was, that had a lot of radiation in it, and you needed to filter it, you would think that water, the area around that water, like the air and the ground, would also be contaminated with radiation too. So you would be fucked pretty much, unless that water was in a stream flowing to you, or some people say the Pacific coast is full of radiation right now from the meltdown in Japan, and that water flowing over here in currents, ocean currents. Kind of an interesting item. I'm okay with this. This is pretty cool. Value on this is $35. That was your advanced box. Now moving on to the Pro. I kind of have an issue with this. When I first saw it, I was kind of confused a little bit. This is kind of a novelty item in my opinion. And I know some folks are going to disagree with me. But basically this is a Geiger counter, and you utilize your phone with this. Now the first thing I thought was, well, if there is a nuclear event, isn't there going to be an EMP? Right? That the two kind of go hand in hand. Isn't that going to affect the power grid? Are you going to be able to charge your phone? Is your phone going to be affected by or impacted by the EMP? This is a case of relying on technology for something. But regardless, it's kind of interesting. It uses a smartphone app. You plug this into your mic jack, it looks like, and point it in a certain direction and see if you can pick up, I think it said gamma rays and X-rays and that type of thing. So you'll be able to take a Geiger count using your phone, which I think is kind of interesting. I'll probably mess around with this a little bit just out of curiosity's sake. But from a practical standpoint, I really don't know how practical it is with this kind of kit build. If you have to rely on a phone for it to work. I would rather see some sort of standalone Geiger counter, personally. Alright, next up is right here, and this is something interesting that I need to do some more research on, and I think you guys should too. It's a colloidal silver from NanoHacks, and I know you guys have probably heard the phrase, born with a silver spoon in your mouth. And that is kind of where this comes from. It was said that people who were wealthy, they ate with silver utensils, and there was kind of the inference that they stayed healthier because of the silver. Silver has long been believed to have medicinal properties. And I guess what the thought here is if you weren't totally wasted by a nuke, and you weren't totally killed by the radiation right off the bat, but you had some radiation around you, your body would be weakened. Your immune system would be kind of messed up. Think of folks that are on cancer treatments for chemotherapy and radiation treatments for cancers. Their immune systems just get shot, so they get sick fairly easily. So what I'm inferring, and it being included in this box, is that you should take this if that was the case to help boost your immune system. But I've heard great things about this, actually. I'm kind of interested in looking into it a little bit more. I'm really excited that this is in here. One of the highlights for me. So those two items, the little Geiger counter and this made up your Pro. That was a $99 cost. So now moving on to the knife of the month. And this is something I'm really excited about. I already opened it and I've been playing with it, and it's freaking cool. One thing I want to point out is it comes in a box that may be familiar to other Pro Plus subscribers. This is a box that's a lot like a Bastion box. The knife is right here. And this is a knife that's a lot like this knife. This is the Bastion Braza. And this is the Nuke, which is designed by Liang Ma with BattlBox. BattlBox and this knife designer Liang Ma got together, designed this knife, and I think the folks who make the knives for Bastion made the knife for Liang Ma and BattlBox, the Nuke. And it's really cool. It's a D2 steel blade. It's a titanium coated handle. It's a frame lock. It's a lot like the Bastion Braza. Already you can see that there are similarities in the materials being used. They're both fairly heavy. A little bit different blade shape. It has some nice jimping, a nice finger choil where you can really choke up on the knife. Really cool. Handle is nice. It's a frame lock like I mentioned. It has these little inserts and you can use this little UV light, which actually looks a lot like some of the Micro X lights in some of our Go Prepared. It's kind of a knockoff though, I think. But some of our Go Prepared, if you don't know what Go Prepared is, GoPreparedSurvival.com, check that out. Something that you know, I'm working on with a buddy of mine. But you shine this light on some of these pieces and they glow. That's so freaking cool. Inside of the handle, you can shine too, and that glows. That's so freaking awesome. So this knife is $150 value. Your Pro Plus was $149.99, $150. This knife saves this box for me. Overall, the box kind of fell flat for me. And this is something I was really, you know, looking forward to. So I'm kind of bummed. The knife is amazing. The silver I'm pretty excited about. The book I like. The water filter I also like. For different reasons, because it's practical for where I live. Oh man, I probably won't be getting any more free boxes. I don't know, maybe I will. I think that this was really hard to do, a really tough box to do, and that's that. Let me be positive right now. This is one of the things that I really love about BattlBox. You know, we've gotten some really awesome knives, limited edition, first run knives. You know, I don't know if you're going to be able to buy this online anywhere other than the BattlBox store. And this is a freaking awesome knife. Just that alone is going to keep me, you know, interested in BattlBox for a long time. So, I don't know. All I can say is I'm looking forward to mission 31 already. Yeah, I always look forward to getting this box. Kind of disappointed this month. Really pleased with this knife. And that's that. Okay, that's it for me, everybody. If you can appreciate my take on this video, even if you don't agree with it, but if you can appreciate it, hit that thumbs up button. If you have anything you want to add to the conversation, if you think I'm wrong, please feel free to comment in the comment section down below. If there's something I missed, let me know. You know, I love learning from the community. You guys have taught me a ton over the last 2-3 years, so I greatly appreciate that. You know, one thing that I love about this YouTube channel is that I'm able to interact with people who teach me things, and every now and then maybe I can impart a little gem with you guys. If you're new to the channel, take a look at some of my other videos. I do all sorts of stuff, not just unboxings. I actually get out, use gear, hike, camp, hunt, fish. So take a look at that. If you like any of those videos, you should click that thumbs up and subscribe button. And yeah, thanks for getting out west with Chris.